jumped it back to life tonight in your mind?
Well, I think we kind of switched up the units a little bit. That one unit that we kind of went heavy with, a unit of 5 was, they were at 23%. And then we went a little bit stale there for 5 games. And, when you start getting into that 1 for 20, 1 for 22 area, which we were, you got to make changes. And we just thought that we'd kind of go with 2 different looks tonight and get Big Mike on the 1 unit with Noobs and then come back with Galiev on the 1. And, Cornet is very, very good on the goal line. So we just kind of did some finagling here in the last 48 hours, and it certainly paid off tonight.
What kind of workout did you put these guys through yesterday coming off of Syracuse, and what kind of role might it have played tonight?
Well, I thought the guys really responded with, a real good practice yesterday. I thought we worked on the things that, has been kind of going downhill the last couple of weeks. I thought our D-zone coverage and our track weren't great Friday night, and those are the 2 areas we really concentrated on yesterday in practice. And the guys responded. We knew we needed today's game, and I thought that everybody competed. All 4 lines were going, and I thought it was just a great team effort tonight.
Troy, you kind of mentioned this, but you had lost 5 of 6 coming in. You starting to ask some hard questions there, and was this a relief? And
well, I think the one thing I talked to the coaching staff yesterday, we were wondering, well, maybe did our team gel a little bit too early because things came together so quickly in those first 3 weeks. We were very good defensively, and from a system perspective, we were excellent. And but then, you start winning some games early, and there's a rut in a groove. There's a fine line there. And usually at the end of a winning streak or when you're playing well, even the game that when Manchester that we won 4-0, it looks like we might have played a great game. Our game started to slip a little bit there, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get it back. And I hope today's the game that kind of gets us back and realizing the type of team we have to play. We're more of a meat and potatoes kind of team that's got to play with an edge and use our speed and be a forechecking team, because I don't see us, in all due respect, I don't think we have any game breakers up front. We've got good hockey players, but we've got to play a certain way to win hockey games. And, this is not the 2009-10 where you can kind of float maybe through a game and then the Drews and their coins and those kind of guys just get you the win. This is a team that needs to play together, and they have to stick to the systems, and they have to come and put the work boots on, and I thought we did that tonight.
Or you talked about pregame wanting to come in with an edge and finding that like you had an early season. How much did playing with said edge play into your success tonight?
Well, I think that's part of our identity, and we did that early, and we were taking it to teams. And I thought that Syracuse Friday night played a little bit of our style of game in terms of what we seen the first 3 weeks and those 3.5 weeks. So, and I just said to the guys, I watched the St. Louis Blues play last night against the Washington Capitals, and it's only the second time I've watched St. Louis play all year. But I thought they just tremendous work ethic. They just come at teams, and that's kind of how we envision our team playing, and we got that tonight.
Carrick's got 4 points in the last 4 games. Is this another signpost in his developmental evolution, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's come along nicely. I think the first 3 weeks, he'd be the first to admit that he struggled at times, and we thought that he had a pretty good weekend 2 weekends ago, and he's really stepping up. He's got a little bit of a voice on the back end of the bench there, too. He's got some leadership to him, and it's just real nice to see him come along, and Helms is doing a lot of work with him. He's been doing some video, and it's just good to see that, and hopefully he'll continue to progress.
About Cornet's game, he had the goal, but he didn't get an assist on, I guess, Carrick's goal, but he screened the goalie, and that caused the goal.
Well, as good as the 4 lines were overall, I thought Kennedy, Galiev, and Cornet was our best line. And, quite frankly, Kennedy and Cornet didn't play the last 12 minutes of the game Friday night. They were, I just didn't think they were on, and they had a good practice yesterday, and I thought they both responded really well. And as a coach, that's what you want to see in your players. You want to see a response game. And Galiev has been sitting there waiting in the wings, and we've chatted a lot with him, and he needs to play like that to stay in this lineup, because he needs to be that guy that uses his speed and using his skill set. He's got one of the better, if not the best, skill set on the team, and he needs to play like that. And as long as he sticks, and competes defensively, I know he's going to have to take some chances because he's a skill guy, and I get that.
I think sometimes, getting back to what it takes to win, it takes a team like this to go through that winning streak and that losing streak to really understand what you got to do on a consistent basis?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And our guys, it's a very tight-knit group, which is excellent. But we're playing loose the last couple of weeks, and I don't think we're out of the water here. It's one good game, and we needed that game today based on scheduling, and I thought we took it to them pretty hard for 60 minutes.
Power play got you back into the game in the second period, but it's not like the penalty kill, with some close calls in the third, kept it at 3-2. What'd you see from?
Well, the penalty kill, I thought, again, tonight was excellent. And it's your special teams is going to go up. There's going to be ups and downs throughout the year. And I thought our PK, I think that was 3 games in a row heading into tonight that we had given up a goal. And next thing you know, your PK is at 90 point and change, and that's at 87 and change, which is still excellent, by the way. But we needed a response game from the special teams, and we got that. I mean, 2 for 6, I believe, in the power play, and 4 for 4, something like that in the kill. I don't think you can ask for anything better than that on a good night.
What was your assessment of Big Mike's big AHL debut?
I thought he was solid. We wanted to manage his minutes. We thought that we'd try and get him some power play time because he had the big shot, and he certainly needs to work on getting that puck through and hitting the net, which is something we've seen a little bit in preseason, and we'll work on that with him in practice because he's got a deadly shot. But there's one thing teeing up a shot that good in the ECHL or in practice here. You've got to get those through, and he can maybe be a weapon. But I thought he was solid and a good debut for him, and but he needs some work too. Yeah.
How's Landry doing?
Landry, I just seen him there when I talked to the guys, and he said he just got stunned a little bit there in center ice. I didn't see the hit, but it was a shoulder to the jaw area, but he sounded like he was going to be okay. I'm sure he'll get checked out, but he seemed pretty good in the meeting.
It was hoped for, but not definitive, that Connor might get back in tonight. What was the decision process in keeping him out one more?
Well, I talked to Connor on Thursday, and the time frame in terms of him playing is kind of in his hands. He's got that type of injury where, I can't dictate, okay, you need to play tomorrow. It's got to be his feel, and he's too valuable a player to have him come back, and the next thing you know, he's out till February. So I basically told him, and Beaker and the docs agree, when he's ready and thinks it's good to go, then he'll give us the nod. And if it's Wednesday against Lehigh, it'll be Lehigh. I think it's day to day, but I don't think there's any guarantees that he even plays Wednesday. But when he's ready, he'll come to me, and we'll get him in, and hopefully we'll have him for the long term, except for maybe a call-up. Good. Thank you.